you guys doing? There we go. Hey, Star family. How are we? Hey, midwife Crystal. How are you doing? Hello, better days. Hey, Miss T. Hey, sup, people. Hey, April. April said, I'm here for the Mike and Cynthia tea. They finally released a statement. Yeah. Like we were just talking about this yesterday. And little breaking news, not breaking news, but when I got off as soon as I got off of this live, a friend confirmed that they were done. And I was like, no. I wanted a different result for them. I really, really did. Missy, hey. Missy said, hey, Nikki, hey, Star family. Hope you all are well. Thank you, Missy. Hey, Desiree. How are you? Hey, Drewski. Hey, Greta. How are we doing? Hey, love yourself. Hey, Sarah. How are you? I said Sarah, not Terry. Oh my goodness, my computer was about to go off. Hey, Daphne. Daphne said, hey, ladies, question. Is it that hard to find a man that loves the Lord and likes reality TV, or is it just me? Are you talking about the reality TV shows that you watch? If that's the case, all men do, right? But for some reason, the machismo of straight men is just like they can't admit that they actually like to watch it. So what they'll do is they'll say certain things to let you know, like they don't mean to let you know, but it's very obvious that they're watching. They'll say some stuff like, oh, that dumb show that you're watching is on. Why are you alerting me that dumb show that I watch is on? Because you want to watch it, right? But you need to use me as the excuse to watch the show. They all love it. They all love it. It's just, they all have to act like they don't like it for some reason. It's the straight guy's brain. I don't understand it, but they all love it. Trust. They're not hard to find. How are you, family? Hey, Coos Girly. Coos Girly said, hey, Nikki, I've missed you. Glad to catch you live. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Shanice, we back again. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Sierra. Sierra said, in my opinion, Cynthia pulled a Kenya. Sis hired that man to stay on Housewives. That's just me. I don't think that Mike could be bought. To be honest with you, he was doing very well. So I think this was a real relationship. I really, really do. Miss T said, I'm sure Mike is a good guy, just not a good husband. That could be true. So Steph said, my ex loves himself some 90 Day Fiance. Yep. Hey, realities. How are you? Hey, Tracy. Tracy said, Bay likes Love at the Lockup. He doesn't like the Housewives. I think it's a balance of men and women. True. Hey, Maria. Hey, in the UK. How are you guys? All right. So this is what we're going to do. Because I just can't wait. We're going to first get into the tea first, and then we'll end with the 90 Day Fiance recap. So we will get into Cynthia and Mike. Then we'll get into the fight. Well, more details of the fight between Mia and Wendy this season. And then we'll talk about this cliffhanger, this surprise that Bravo keeps on saying or putting out there, that Jamie Lee Curtis is joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Listen, let's cut straight to it. We know it's not true. We know it's just, promotion, but we will get to that. And then we will end with the recap of 90 Day Fiance. How you like that? Let's do it. Greta said, I'm scratching my head with the super spreader wedding to file for divorce on your anniversary. Whoo! Yikes. Serene Chaos Keeper says, hey, Nikki, I'm so glad I caught it live. I'm so glad you're here. Donna D said, I so wanted Cynthia and Mike to make it. I'm sad. Me too. So let's talk about it. This is just so heartbreaking. I'm like, we were just talking about this mess. This is from Yahoo Entertainment. Real Housewives Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill break up after 2 years of marriage. Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill are no longer hashtag chill. 2 years after tying the knot in a lavish wedding ceremony, the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum and Los Angeles based broadcaster have called it quits. While we both will always have love for one another, we have decided to go our separate ways, the pair said in a joint statement to Entertainment Tonight. We are grateful that we remain good friends and will always cherish the many memories that we have shared together as husband and wife. I also have their joint Instagram that was posted. Let me load it. Child, this is so sad. Cynthia, I thought this was it. I wanted this to be it for you. But life happens. Life happens. And this was posted today. This was posted today. Alrighty. Let me load it here. Okay, we're loading. While we load, let's look at the way we were. The way we were. The way we were. Memories of the way we were. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here is their joint statement. Love is a beautiful thing. I'm gonna just read it from my phone because I can't read it on here. Oops, what happened? There we go. Love is a beautiful thing. While we both will always have love for one another, we have decided to go our separate ways. No one is to blame, and we are grateful that we remain good friends. We will always cherish the many memories we shared together as husband and wife. Many of you have been on this journey with us from the very beginning, and we appreciate our family, friends, and beloved fans for our support, for your positive support as we move forward and start new chapters. Thank you for your prayers and well wishes, Cynthia and Mike. So it's official. They gave a statement. It's over. I will say this, and listen, I don't know what happened, why they divorced. I will say this. This happens a lot of times when public figures, people who've lived their relationships in front of the world and allow the world to have a lot of input on their relationship. When they do break up, it's always this joint statement. It's always nobody is responsible. We just, we met a fork in the road. And then later on, it comes out that somebody was horrible to the other. And it's normally the woman who took the brunt of the pain of the relationship. And to that, I say, stop taking the high road with men who treat you like garbage. I'm not saying that Mike did. Y'all know I love him. I think he's a really good guy. But what I don't want is for later on is for Cynthia to be like, oh, they were this and they were this. And then that happened. I'm like, if you didn't do your right, tell it. Tell it. What are you protecting him for? Like, you know what I mean? If that later on down the line, like, let's not hear about how terrible he was to you. Let's tell it now. Get it off your chest and move forward and live your life fresh, free, and clean of the pain that you were carrying. So, because why hold the brunt of that relationship and take so much from this man and still protect him in the end? No, when we're done, we're done. I'm not protecting you. So I hope that's not the case, but it's like nobody is responsible for us breaking up. Then why are you not together? Something had to happen. You know what I mean? Like, who messed up? Like, and again, no, it's your relationship. So that is not something that you have to tell us. But the thing is, when you bring people on this journey with your relationship, I'm not saying you're obligated to let them know what made it fall apart when you let us know what made it work and what made you two come together in the beginning. You're not obligated. However, I will say it's not rude for anybody to be like, well, what happened? Right? That's why I think it's just so smart to keep some things just to yourself. And unfortunately, for housewives, their relationships they cannot keep to themselves. And that's really sad because when you live your relationship in front of the world, you allow the world to have its input and its impact. And so, unfortunately, that's the road that a lot of reality TV stars take because the money and the fame is good. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. I know she really wanted it to work. She really, really wanted it to work. And I hate the fact that she had that super spreader wedding because now it's just like, see, we told you. We told you not to have that super spreader wedding. I'm not saying that the pain would have been less if it was just a little, courthouse Zoom wedding. But my God, today you made a lot of fuss for it to be over in 2 years. And I know that's not what she planned. I know that's not what she expected. And it's like, did she go to a soothsayer? Wait, that's very biblical. What do they call a psychic? Did a psychic or somebody, a reader or whatever, tell her to do this date? Remember, there was something about this date that was so lucky that she had to get married on this date. I don't know. Refresh my memory, guys. But I remember her saying she had to get married on this date. That's why she couldn't wait because somebody told her it was a lucky day. Girl, you need to go back and either get your money or beat that person up because that person lied to you. They set you up to be cursed. But I agree with you, Pink Petals. I hate this for Cynthia too. She was very happy. She was very, very happy. It's all alleged, so Steph, unless Cynthia wants to confirm. I am Rachel said, I get it at their age and having being single and accustomed to living life for yourself. And I can believe that it was hard to compromise as one would in a marriage. Yeah, I also think for older people, it's like, it's a huge stigma, especially for a woman if they're not married, at an older age. And I feel bad for a lot of women who have to endure that. But I'm like, there's nothing wrong. I told you, there's nothing wrong with being a girlfriend. I learned that later on in life. Shout out to my aunt. There's nothing wrong with being a girlfriend. Like, especially if you have your own money, you have really good assets, you have, your children or whoever will be there in the end to make sure that you are properly protected. I think it's good to just date and not, legally bind yourself up with something because, when you're older, you're setting your ways. This is how you want to live your life. And, compromise has to happen. And I think for whatever reason, they just couldn't make it work. And unfortunately, Cynthia left a really good check to make it work. Oh, stop making sacrifices for men. Especially if you don't know if he's a sure thing. My God, today. But I feel like the door is still open for her. I feel like the door is still open for her. And I would love, 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 love for Cynthia to come home. Go back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm so glad you didn't sell Lake Bailey. Go back. Go back home and get your check again. And you got a great storyline. So how can Bravo and Andy say no? I'm here for it. Go back home, sis. Go back home. Oh no, Donna D said Mike exemplifies once a cheater, always a cheater. You guys think he cheated? Oh, Simply Simone said lessons from this. Do not get married on TV. I think another lesson is also keep everybody out of your business. I feel like our grandmothers told us that. I remember the grandmothers, especially that was one thing. Maybe it was an old Black grandmother thing, but it was one thing that old Black grandmothers always said to young women when they got married: keep everybody out of your marriage. I remember that distinctly. Not that it was said to me, but I know that that was something that was always said within our community. Keep everybody out of your marriage. And she let 1 million people in a week into this child. That's too many people in your business. Yes, she was married to Peter longer, but because they weren't on the show. They got married off the show. They came into the show together, married, and their marriage deteriorated on camera. I know, Drewski. Drewski says Cynthia and these cursed weddings marriages. Terrible. Terrible. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Oh my God, hold on one second. Oh my God, hold on one second. Kimberly, I think I have a video I'm supposed to post on there right now. And I don't know. I think I scheduled it, but I'm not sure. Let me check. Ciao. Kimberly, thank you for the reminder. No, I did not. No, I did not. Let me load this video right now. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. I thought I scheduled it. I have to do better with that because on here I can't schedule lives. Like the way I can schedule these pre-recorded videos. So I always have to remember to do it. But it's live. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm doing Vlogtober. So like every day, I'm a little late, but every day in the month of October, I'm loading a video for Vlogtober. I'll do the same thing for Christmas for Vlogmas, but I think in November, I'm just going to go back to my normal schedule before Vlogtober. I'll be loading a vlog every day for the month of October. Thanks for the reminder, Kimberly. Hey, IA. IA said, I think it's a wrap for Cynthia when those cheating rumors came out last year. Oh gosh, y'all are just so convinced that Mike cheated. Oh no. Listen, why not? Why not? If it's what you guys think, if he did cheat, if he did do her dirty, why not? Tell it. Tell it. You do not have to protect anybody that has done you wrong. Get your lick back. I Am Awesome Production said, I wonder if they do that for level seasons. Do what? I'm sorry. What was that in response to? What was that in response to? I think so too, Shantavia. I think so too. Just date him. Have him pop into Atlanta every now and again while you two are, dating other people. He could be your main joint. You don't have to like exclusively date him. He could be your main joint, and then you can have people who throughout Atlanta or the world that you also entertain, but that's your main joint. There's nothing wrong with doing that, right? You don't have to be in a serious relationship if you've been there and done that. Figure out what works for you. And if you are really interested in this guy, but you two like the comfort of your lives, you like the comfort of your life in Atlanta and your nice check. He likes the comfort of LA and his nice check, and he's going to stay where he is. You can just date like that. Like just have your main joint and then have your little other ones that are around when he's not around, right? You give him his focus when he's in town. Right? You give him all your focus when he's in town. But when he leaves, you go back to playing the field. What is wrong with that? That sounds ideal, to be quite honest with you. That sounds ideal. That's the one you can have the pillow talk with. That's the one that, you actually let stay over. Right? The other ones you go out, right? They don't come to your house. You don't do too much for them. But you have a fun time. What's wrong with that, Cynthia? That's what it should have been. I Am Rachel said they were in their 50s, stuck in their own routines and way of life. True. I think that sometimes marriage is harder for older single people. Quite possibly. I think so too, Christina. I think she was trying to get the wedding right this time, right? Because her wedding to Peter was on, or her renewal to Peter was on camera, and it just wasn't good. But I think that she was just trying to get it right. Donna D said, Cynthia, just go on and say Mike was a play from the Himalaya. Oh no. Oh, Candy came up with the date. Why? Oh, Johnny. Johnny, are you watching? Thank you so much. Thank you, Johnny, for the cash app. Johnny said, hold on. Said, wanted to give you a double dose of appreciation. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much. Thank you. Why did Candy give her that date? Why did Candy give her that date? I Am Rachel said, and they had a long distance relationship for the past part. So they probably didn't know each other. And they probably lived together. It was just like, this is not as fun as it was when you actually left after a couple of days, right? That I feel like if they were just dating, they'd still be together. Darn it. I'm awake said I got married on 10/10/2020, but that's because it's our anniversary. Small, intimate, non-super spreader. I think she just liked the date. Probably. It's easy to remember. Probably. So steps that Mike is for the streets. Ah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you guys think he cheated. Mike. Oh, she did. She made all them sacrifices for that man only to post that she's getting a divorce. And ugh. Oh, I hate that for her. I hate that. Oh, they did. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. Seth. They did get married. I thought it was a vow renewal, but Cynthia and Peter did. Oh my God, this is the second wedding. Oh my girl, no, no more. Cynthia, just date, just date. I thought it was a vow renewal. Oh my gosh, just date. Oh my goodness, just date. And I feel like she was probably doing this again just to get it right. Oh, Cynthia, so gorgeous and just so unlucky in love. I hate that for her. El Michelle said it's hilarious. The moment divorce came out, everyone wants Cynthia back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I do too, girl. What happened? Listen, I feel like the show needs her. I feel like we were missing her energy this season. I think she's a vet, a seasoned vet. She knows what the viewers like. She knows how to stay neutral, but she also knows how to keep a storyline going. And she has, if we're being honest, going into this season, the most interesting storyline out of everybody that that I believe is returning, because I think this whole cast is returning. No shade, but we can drop Sanya down to a friend of the show and make Cynthia full time, in my opinion. KB said, "Did you see the nudes?" No, I did not. Oh God, Mike, you too old to be doing nudes. You know what? Let me mind my business. April said Mike did say he would be surprised if they made it to two. So there's power in the tongue. There really is. There really is. Oh my goodness. Everybody said to not get married. Sierra said it wasn't as fun. It wasn't as fun as she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. Mike gives me, I'm trying to come up like tall, tall teens. Oh no. Guys, I listen. I'm not defending him, but Mike was pretty established too. I don't think he's trying to come up on her. But you know, oh, she did. Cynthia had 3 weddings on camera. To Peter, oh my girl, stop it. It's okay to date. It's okay to date. Hey, Johnny. Johnny said, hey, Nikki Queen, I'm watching love the back to back to lives. I hate that my Cynthia can't win. Good people go through a lot. Bring her back on Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives of Atlanta. I agree. I agree. Everything happened. Oh my goodness, what is Kenya gonna say? See, we gotta get her back. I hate this. I hate this, but unfortunately, Cynthia, we were at every part of this relationship. So now you gotta come on and tell us how it ended. It's only fair. It's only fair. Let me get Tracy because y'all want to talk about this. Tracy said, y'all don't remember Mike's penis being on Snapchat a few months back? The picture was blurred, so we can't see nothing. Oh, oh my God. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. That happens later in life. Later in life, old black woman say, I have tried and tried. I'm going to try something new. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I would not be surprised if that happened. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, it wasn't really filmed. It wasn't really filmed, but like we were still like it was just so I hate this for her. I hate this for her. Oh my goodness. Miss T said it's definitely explains Cynthia's attitude during girls' trip. Oh, oh yeah. She wasn't herself. She was not herself. And I don't think that Kenya knew. Because I think if Kenya knew, Kenya would have been in tune. I think once she made the transition to LA, I think that's when everything started to fall apart for her. And listen, I'm just guessing, I'm just speculating because I think, like we all said, when they were doing the long distance, it was better because, you come see me in my environment, I come see you in your environment, and then we go our separate ways and then we come back to each other. But I think her being in his environment full time, being away from what has been her home for almost 20 years and then yeah, yeah, she was going through it. She was probably depressed. She was probably, oh, this is so sad. Not Cynthia, not Cynthia. DGF said maybe this is why Cynthia was so heated about integrity on Celebrity Big Brother 2. Could be. It could be. Hey, Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit said, hi, Nikki. I finally caught a live. Watch him work. I know that's right. I know that's right. Oh, listen, hopefully she'll come on to Atlanta and tell us all about it. Cynthia, you do not have to protect him. You do not have to protect him. Y'all are not together. Y'all are divorced. I guess you're waiting for the ink to dry, but girl, when the ink dries, spill it on Bravo. Hey, Frenchie. Frenchie said, I'm messy. The next marriage I'm keeping my good eye on is, oh, y'all know I love Teresa from Patterson, New Jersey, but I am concerned. I am concerned. I don't want Teresa's family to be right, but I'm like, girl, I have concerns as well. It's not just Joe. I have concerns as well. And I think Teresa is a lot like Wendy Williams. And the only reason why I say this is because Wendy Williams said, I'm a wife. I'm not a girlfriend. I like being married. I want to be a wife. I can never just date and be somebody's girlfriend, right? I think that's Teresa. I think Teresa could have dated Louis, but Teresa's a wife. Teresa doesn't want to date. Teresa wants to be a wife, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but you know what I mean? I think because she always goes into dating, but but not dating to get to know somebody. She goes into dating for marriage and she just gets so laser focused like Cynthia on getting married and not figuring out who this person is and if it's a smart decision or even if you want to spend your life with them, you know what I mean, and intertwine your assets in your name, especially when you came out of a marriage that had you in prison for 2 years. Girl, we got to think here, but I think she's a wife. She's not a girlfriend. She probably just comes from a generation where they just, or a culture that's not what we do. We get married. Girl, a girlfriend is looking like the move in a lot of situations, especially when you're a successful woman. Oprah got it right. Oprah and Whoopi Goldberg got it right. Got it right. Donna D said, I just hope Cynthia stays with men rather than doing, oh my God. No, Donna D, we're not going to do that. Let's be real here. I don't think that Niecy Nash gave up on men and started dating women. I think you kind of already have to be gay or bisexual. Like, you just don't wake up and decide to do that. Like, that's not how sexuality works. But, if Cynthia, whatever she decides to do, it's her life. It's her life. And we are going to support it. We LGBTQ friendly over here. Teresa said, Pink Petals said, Teresa is old fashioned. That's what I was trying to say. She probably will pretend it's all good like she did with Joe. Yikes. I don't want to be on here again talking about Teresa. She was, and then she was done with that. You didn't read that article that goes viral every year about why Whoopi Goldberg will never get married again? Her response was, I don't want some man living in my house. Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband, They live in separate homes. They live down the street from each other because they both have children, growing children, and they just did not want to mix their homes. And they did not, she didn't want to, she got a really nice flat in New York. She didn't want to leave that. And he didn't want to move into her flat. And she didn't want to move from there. So they just decided to live separately with their children from previous relationships. And it's working. A lot of people live like that. A lot of people look like that. Live like that. I don't know why I say look. Yes, get these likes up. While the likes are getting up, we are going to move on to, is Jamie Lee Curtis joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? No, she's not. And this is the thing. I've seen this article. I've seen this shared a lot, which lets me know that Bravo's publicist for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is putting this out there. That concerns me. That concerns me that y'all are putting out this clickbait about Jamie Lee Curtis possibly joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Why that concerns me is that you guys are pushing this and not any of the tea that happened at the reunion. So this is making me think that that little part where Kathy got Lisa Rinna together is probably on the last part of the reunion, the last reunion, and that the rest are going to be boring. I'm concerned, Bravo. I'm concerned because why a few days before your show are you pushing that Jamie Lee Curtis is joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? This reunion better be worth the 3 or 4 parts. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. So let's get into it. Jamie Lee Curtis is joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for their season 12 reunion. The Halloween Inn star will make a surprise appearance during part 1 of the reality television series. This is why she's doing that, because when she went on the show, when she was on the show promoting her charity, that was after the day after that episode premiered, she had one of her biggest fundraising days ever for her charity. So she's going to come onto the show, thank Andy, thank the viewers for donating, and probably give a little fun input about the season. But there's no way that Jamie Lee Curtis is joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It ain't happening. It is not happening. First of all, not only is she old Hollywood, she's still booked and busy. She's still booked and busy. In a preview for the first part of the reunion shared by Bravo, this is from Deadline, this article. Andy Cohen called Curtis an honorary housewife, to which the actor said, "I'm very honored to be so. I had the best, unexpected best time I ever had, and as the result was unexpected. My appearance was the single biggest day in history of my charity." Curtis said that she had now rebranded her charity to the Cheekest Children Charity in honor of Dorit Kemsley. During Curtis's appearance on the show, Curtis showcased different merchandise that she was offering to raise funds for the charity. "Your genuine enthusiasm changed my company," Curtis told Kemsley during the reunion. In honor of being a star of the Halloween franchise, Curtis gifted all the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stars a pumpkin with their faces carved out to celebrate the spooky holiday. So not only is she going on the show, on the reunion, to thank Andy, to thank the viewers, to thank Dorit, and to thank everyone for her charity having one of their highest fundraising days, she's also there to promote Halloween. And I think we're starting something here with the reunions now. And I think the reason why this is happening is because the reunions never garner the viewership that the regular episodes, garner. Like people drop off. You may watch the beginning of one reunion, the first one usually, and then you drop off and you're not interested anymore. So I think what's going to start happening with the reunions is that we're going to have guest stars, guest hosts, pop-up guests, ads throughout the season, and ads throughout the episodes and things like that. I think they're going to try to do something every reunion episode, since you really do not get all of the viewers that you normally get for, either a premiere episode or a really spicy, trendy episode or something like that. And I think the only reason why they're doing it is for advertisers, right? Because back in the day, Bravo used to be able to charge advertisers a nice chunk of coin, chunk of change to have their commercials playing throughout the reunion. But now nobody's watching anymore, so they can't charge that money anymore. So I think we're going to see the reunions change from here on out. And I think they're going to become, an ad haven. I think that's what's happening, because it's just, why is Jamie Lee Curtis at the reunion? Like, why is she there? To promote Halloween and to thank everybody for donating to our charity, which I have no problem with, but I think that we're going to have more of that as viewership drops for the reunions. What do you guys think about that? Zena said, we all know it's not going to be 3 parts worthy. Yeah, I was hoping that we would have a different outcome, but this teasing of Jamie Lee Curtis joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and nothing else from the reunion, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Christina says she's a huge movie star. Why would she downgrade and join the cast? We got to be real about that. Sarah said, also, Jamie Lee Curtis is a random throw-in. Very random. Very random. Like, even if she doesn't do any movies again, she's fine. Not only is Jamie Lee Curtis Hollywood royalty, she's also married to a man that stays booked and busy. Like, she don't need to check. She don't need to check. She does Halloween for fun. She don't need it. She don't need it. Shantavia said, Jamie Lee Curtis is Hollywood royalty. Yep. She doesn't need to go on a reality show, but she does need to go in there for her charity. Homeless and toothless. That would have been iconic. If we had homeless and toothless on the reunion, that right there, that would have been worth it. El Michelle said, Dorit got people changing charity names, but didn't convince homeless not toothless. I am Rachel said the rebranding part is not true. I went to her site earlier. Nothing about the cheekest, etc. on the site. Yeah, I don't believe that either. I think she was just joking about that. Yeah, I don't believe it. Yeah, never even gave a second thought to that. Miss T said Dorit was lying. She didn't take any of that merchandise. Shed Pearl said they're about to have Star Jones and Perez Hilton hosting these reunions. Excuse me. I don't think it'll be those two. I think it'll probably be like really, big celebrities who are fans of the show, right? John Hamm will absolutely make an appearance at one of the Beverly Hills reunions if they can ever get him. If they can ever get him, he will absolutely make an appearance. And that will be a reason why people will watch the second part of the reunion. Because I know that I'm going to be up here reviewing the second part of the reunion, and you guys are going to be like, oh, I didn't watch. That's why I tuned into you, because I know you watched it for me. Nobody watches two. You check in for one, check out like in half an hour, and then you check in for the last half an hour of part 3. That's exactly why Nicki Minaj was on The Real Housewives of Potomac. I think so too. I don't know why Funky Dineva has never been like one of the bloggers that Bravo like puts on a platform. Like, I don't know why Funky Dineva has never been on Watch What Happens Live. Like, I don't get it. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, he got numbers. It would make sense. DGF627 said Jamie Lee Curtis's parents are Hollywood royalty, genuine movie stars. Yep. The dreamy Tony Curtis, aka the Flintstones, Sony Curtis, and gorgeous Janet Leigh. Yeah, she's Hollywood royalty. She would never do anything like that. Never. Johnny's Acting Channel says, I don't want to see my faves, Jamie Lee Curtis and Neve Campbell, on these shows. Michael Myers and Ghostface is nothing compared to the drama on these shows. Yeah, she would. That's the thing. Jamie Lee Curtis would never need to do it. She would never need to do it. Never need to do it. Robin said the writing is on the wall about these reunions. Look at the Bachelor reunion. It was a 2-hour long commercial. Yep. I am going to talk about because I'm doing Bachelor in Paradise tomorrow. So I'm going to do 2 lives tomorrow. I'm doing Bachelor in Paradise, and then I'm going to do the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the first reunion, because I honestly think this show does not have Bachelor Nation doesn't have legs. I'm telling you, this is one of those shows that I think that it's on its way out. They're just doing too much. The way they're moving like they don't have the coin that they used to. And when the money start going, all they need is to have a shakeup at ABC. Like if they change, they get a new president, or if they fire a CFO, and if there's a shakeup in how ABC is ran, I feel like The Bachelor is on its way out. Because if somebody new comes in, the first thing they're going to look at is what show is bleeding. What show is bleeding money from the network? And I think The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is one of those shows. Miss GG88 said Funky Daddy even talked about losing out on opportunities because of things he said on his channel. That could be very true. It's possible that he said something the people at Bravo didn't like. That could be very, very, very true, because his numbers are crazy for him to not to be a Bravo staple. Sarah said, if Bachelor Nation isn't dying out, it should be. Yes! Paradise extending its season is a big red flag. Also, what I forget their names. Ashley Lancanelli and her husband coming on Paradise for what? What is happening, girl? I feel like we're wrapping this up. Oh my goodness. Hey Jutley, birthday girl, said Bachelor Nation is too boring, and this is coming from someone who used to watch. Yeah, they're just not getting the numbers that they used to. Absolutely true. Zena said it's too many shows like The Bachelor these days for that show to last. I honestly think it's streaming. I honestly think if we did not have streaming services, I think that Bachelor Nation would still be like, all those Bachelor shows would still be up there. But you have so many similar shows who are now, on streaming services that are just putting in crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. Simply Simone said, just like the Disney Fox merger, the new guy will clean house. Yep. That's what's happening at Warner Brothers. That's what's happening at Warner Brothers. Everybody is getting fired. Let me tell y'all something. Little industry tea. That Warner Brothers shakeup, my God, today. They have Hollywood in shambles. So I'm like, nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Gina said, low key, Netflix might be taking that audience with Love is Blind and Ultimatum. Absolutely. They absolutely are. All right. We talked about Jamie Lee Curtis enough. Let's move on to Miss Wendy and Mia. Ooh, hold on. This is from Urban Bell. Mia Thornton realizes that she went too far. Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo shares surprising details about altercation with Mia Thornton. So I literally saw this morning, and I was just like, I knew it. This confirmed my feelings about the trailer. When I saw the trailer and I saw how Mia threw that drink at Wendy, I knew it didn't end there. There's no way. Listen, I don't care how moneyed up, coined up, or educated a Black woman is. You're not throwing a drink on her, and that's going to be it, right? I knew there was more to it, and I thought that it was not only an ugly act. I also felt like it was terrible timing for something like that to happen on Potomac, since they've had a problem with co-workers getting a little too comfortable with, the throwing of the drinks on each other. So I knew it was more. So I read this. Wendy Osefo and Mia Thornton are set to once again clash on the current season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Mia felt like Wendy came for her unnecessarily during the previous season, but Wendy thought it was shady for Mia to try to form a relationship with Giselle Bryant when Karen Huger brought Mia to the group. Wendy also believed that Mia started her feud with Candace Dillard Bassett. In Wendy's opinion, it's inappropriate for Mia to ask Miss Dorothy if Chris Bassett was being paid to manage Candace. Well, Wendy also shares more details about the altercation that they had earlier on or later in the season. Wendy speaks on the altercation while responding to a now deleted tweet. Wendy tweeted Mia, girl, I know you're not talking about no condoning violence. You threw a drink on me and hit me with your purse multiple times, breaking 3 nails in the process. You are a poster child for violence. Mia responds, you are absolutely right. And I own that. I was wrong. I won't pretend to be perfect. I feel terrible for acting that way. And I take full responsibility. Now, Wendy said that in response to a tweet that Mia tweeted. Something about violence. I don't have it here, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about that because I knew it. I knew that there was more to that than a throwing of the drink. Something happened where Mia hit her and broke 3 of her nails. I don't know if we're going to see it in the season because of the heat that Potomac got with the Candace and Monique altercation, but I knew that it was something more to that. And that Mia, like, not even, and you know Mia is nasty on that Twitter. For her to respond, you're right about that. I was wrong and I own that. I'm learning and growing and all of that. Wait a minute. She must have really done something horrid. I don't know if we're going to see it, but I know that Wendy let us know that it got that altercation with them got heated. And I don't know if, Potomac, the producers at Potomac or production told her to delete the tweet, but it's now deleted. But Mia responded and took full responsibility. So I don't know if we're going to see it. And I have to be honest with you. I think if it's as horrible as Wendy described, I think this might be Mia's last season. I think this might be Mia's last season because if it gets to the point where Wendy got a purse, where Mia hit Wendy with her purse and broke her nails, like, I don't see her staying on for another season unless Wendy is okay with working with her. And that's up to Wendy. Like, who knows? But I knew it. I knew it when I saw the trailer. I was like, this cannot be it. No sister is letting you throw, like, she threw basically a whole wine bottle on this woman. And it stops with Wendy just going like this. I'm like, that's not the end of it. And I don't know if we're going to see it, but I knew it was more to that. I knew it was more to that. Tony says, oh, this is in response to Mia's friend and what she posted about the fight. That's Wendy's response. Yes, that is. Simply Simone said, wow, didn't know all that happened. When I saw that, when Wendy was like, you broke 3 of my nails and hit me with your purse. So it got ugly. It got ugly. Shantavia, I don't think she will be. I don't think she will be after the altercation. And I think it also depends on how the fans react to that and if we'll see it. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see it, but y'all put it in a trailer. So to not show us the aftermath of that, I don't know. And I don't know if Wendy deleted, like I said, because production told her, or she just didn't feel like discussing it because that episode is coming up and, don't want to spoil. I don't know, but child, she said, you're the poster child for violence. What happened? Tony said, oh, I got that one from Tony. Let me get an older comment. DGF627 said, nobody is safe and neither is 100 years worth of the WB's movies and TV shows. They had a record label too. Listen, everything is coming down. Thank you, Breezy. Thank you so much. Yes, I will be talking about that. I'm actually catching up. I'm going to not review, but I'm going to talk about with you guys Love After the Altar, I think, right before we get into the new season of Love is Blind. They have to have another success story. They have to. Afrocentric Wallflower said, hey, Nikki, are you going to review? Yes, I am. I'm going to review it. I am going to review it. El Michelle said, well, that's good. I don't care for Mia as one of my housewives. I won't say I don't care for Mia. I will say there's something sinister about her. There's something very dark, and I don't know what it is. It could, be her upbringing, and when you live a rough life like that, you got to fight. You have to fight. Like, and I absolutely understand that, but I think that this environment is probably not the best for her because she just her reactions to things, in my opinion, are a little over the top and just sinister. It's like, why are you here already? Let it escalate. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't real life. This is a TV show, right? You are literally putting on a performance for people, but you're just like, your jabs and how you come at people is just like, yikes. I think that she is probably better suited for Bad Girls Club. I think she is, because this is, here we have her again. Last season, she threw that salad at Candace. Now she's throwing drinks at Mia. Well, like, who are we going to let her go after somebody light? Girl, if she throws something at Giselle, it's over for her. She's done. I don't know if she's going to remain on the show with Wendy. It all depends on, I think, how people react to it. But I would be shocked if she remains on the show after what Wendy described that she did to her. I would be shocked. I would be shocked. Yes. Yes, Miss T, this would be the second time that Mia is involved in a physical situation. Like, girl, you just got here. You keep on throwing stuff and putting hands on cast members. Ma'am, you gotta go. You gotta go. You got to go. You know what, Miss T? That probably makes sense. Like, I'd much rather rent than buy in a place where I don't know if my job is secure. Makes sense. Shed Pearl said last season Wendy asked Mia to stop touching her, and she would keep touching Wendy to antagonize her. I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah. I don't know if she's built for this show or for what this show is about, right? I don't know. I feel like she goes too far. I think she, like I said, I think she might be suited for the Bad Girls Club, or maybe her and, her husband can get their own show on Zeus. But I just don't think Potomac is where she can shine. I just don't. I'm like, the reason why I say this is because Mia doesn't know how to cut. You know what I mean? And I say cut as in and cut, right? The scene is done. Like, she doesn't know how to end the scene. She stays in it and just travels with this aggression, and then it just gets so dark where it's just not fun watching her anymore. I'm telling you, when I saw the trailer, I was like, I hated that drink thrown on Wendy. I hated how she did it. I didn't like it, and I knew that something else happened after that, because I just don't see Wendy just eating that drink. Ciao. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, how do you think that Wendy deserves something like that? When they were obviously just talking. Like, we saw what happened before the drink was thrown. Like, Wendy didn't throw a drink at her. So, I think it's just people who don't like Wendy for whatever reason. IA said Mia wants to keep her job, especially now with her money troubles. She really does. But that just may be up to Wendy. Spenty said, someone on Twitter said Cynthia had the big COVID wedding for no reason. You risked all those people's lives for ciao. Poor thing. Poor thing. Give Me Shelter said Mia is creepy for sure. Does she have an authentic moment? She seems to lack a healthy identity. That's the thing. I think something's going on there. Like I said, I do enjoy her in small doses. So maybe she should be front of, because I think she's really good. I like how she can get with everybody. I like how she can read. But it's like when she gets to a point where she just can't use her words anymore. And you have to be able to read someone and take a read on this show. You have to be able to shade someone and take shade on this show. She can read and she can shade. She can't take them. And when she cannot take them, she resorts to some sort of physical violence. And it's like, girl, that's not how this show works. That's why I don't think she's fit for this, because she just doesn't know that that's not okay, because her impulses, for whatever how she has lived her life, make her do that every time. When Mia cannot win in a war of words, she resorts to violence. It's not good. It's not good. But I do think in small doses she's great. So maybe friend of, but as you know, a Boston bean holder. What do they hold? Do they hold something in Potomac? Potomac. A paper bag. As a paper bag test holder, I don't think so. I don't think that she could hold a paper bag. I think friend of is good for her. Friend of is good for her. That's what it's becoming. Love and hip hop Potomac. Like, come on. This ain't Married to Medicine. That scene by the pool was iconic. Hold on, girl. Hold on, girl. Married to Medicine is such a good show. Such a good show. Let me get a couple more comments and then we'll get into 90 Day Fiance. Yes, small doses, Tony. Small doses. She is, I hate to say it, but she is. But when she's good, she's great. When she's good, she's great. But when she's bad, she's horrible. Horrible. Frenchie said, Mia said at the reunion that she would beat up Candace, and everyone was silent. And Giselle said Candace will deserve it. True. True. I remember that. Oh, they hold a glass of champagne. Really? Yes. Hold the Grand Dame's perfume. Hey, TT. How are you? And again, say what you want about the Grand Dame, but she's in Bloomingdale's. She has a whole partnership with Bloomingdale's. She better work. She better work. Tony said, and that same show had someone throw water at, I forgot who, just a couple episodes ago. Potomac getting a little, especially, this is the thing, right? We're in a whole pandemic, too, at this point. You're not throwing, especially liquids that you had in your freaking mouth. That you're not throwing that on me, because in the trailer, Mia sipped the drink and then threw it on Wendy. That's a double dose of violence, right? Not only did you throw your drink on me, you also threw a drink on me that had your saliva in it. So you're kind of spitting on me, and that was biological warfare. Oh, baby, you gotta go. You gotta go. If you're not going to prison, you're going to the Undertaker, because ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Sierra, Wendy said that Mia is the poster child for violence. Let me just read it. Hold on, where is it? Wendy's tweet in response to Mia responding to her friend about violence or whatever. Wendy says, girl, I know you're not talking about not condoning violence. You threw a drink on me and hit me with your purse multiple times, breaking 3 nails in the process. You are the poster child for violence. Ciao. We just covered Wendy and Mia. We also covered Jamie Lee Curtis joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then we talked about Cynthia and Mike separating. Now we're going to get into 90 Day Fiance. Let's get into it. Ooh. All right, so let's start off with Jenny and Sumit. So I told you guys from jump that Jenny and Summit, also known as Sumit, were going to come to America. So now Jenny is starting, the storyline is starting now. So Jenny's on the phone with her daughter, and she's telling her that, she's working, her and Sumit or Summit are also going to work on getting his fiance visa so he can come to America with her so that she can visit her family and he can come and visit with her as well. And I just listen. I honestly think that this is that they're doing this because they're eventually going to live in America and be on the American 90 Day Fiance like they are now, right? They're on Happily Ever After, but I think that eventually we're going to start filming them in the States. I think they're here already because we see Jenny all over her daughter's TikTok, right? Currently, right? So I would be surprised if Summit also noticed the meat is there with her. So I mean I knew this from jump. I like this couple. I don't care. I don't care, but I knew that they were going to end up in America. The only couple that I'm convinced that would never end up in America is Kim and Usman, because Usman is not going to leave a place that he's prospering in, right? He's not going to leave his nation where he's doing so well and come to America and start from scratch again. I think that we will never see Usman in America, like living. We will always see him. If he's here, he's visiting or doing press for the show. But I don't think Usman is ever leaving America. But anyway, Jenny is now starting the storyline of Summit and her making their way to America. So we're back with this Kama Sutra storyline. So Jenny's talking to her daughter and she's just like, yeah. Samit wants to do some things. He wants to do some Kama Sutra. And I'm like, Jenny, why are you telling your daughter this? But her daughter was like into it. She was like, do it, mom. And I'm like, your mother is 63 years old. She can't do it. Like, why do you want your mother to get all bruised up for sex? Like, absolutely not. But Jenny is just like, she doesn't know why Samit wants to like do Kama Sutra. And I'm like, Jenny, he's in his 30s. Girl, Kama Sutra is the tip of the iceberg. When he gets you to America, he's definitely taking you to the candy factory and getting you some candy coated Knights toys. Like, he's in his 30s. He's going to want to do a lot of stuff, ma'am. And you can't just want to just do missionary and go to sleep. Absolutely not. Not when your husband is 30. Okay. You have to, oil them bones, grease them thighs, and get to work. I can't believe I told Jenny to grease her thighs. Oh Lord! But I will say it was very cute watching them together in the Kama Sutra class, and in their confessional. They look like a healthy couple. You know what I mean? They look like the real deal for me. They look in love and just fun, and I actually am kind of convinced at this point that they are really a May December romance. Because before, they didn't have me fooled. Not at all. Let's get into Kim and Usman. Usman takes Kim to meet his family, and baby, Usman looks just like his mama. Like, he got her whole face. And Kimberly was a bit nervous because she was just like, I feel like Usman's family is already rejecting me without even getting to know me. And it was confirmed on this episode because Usman came to his mom and was asking her for basically her blessing to marry Kim. And the mom was like, no, I don't want you to be with her. I don't want my son to be with any American woman. And her exact words were, I pray to God that Kimberly is not your wife. Yikes. And Usman was just like, I'm gonna have to work a bit harder to get her blessing. I'm like, your mother says she's praying to the Lord to block this marriage. How do you think that there's another option? What else do you think you're going to get out of her? She just said, I'm going to the Lord to make sure this wedding never happens. But I honestly think you don't even have to do that, Mama Usman. Here's why. And Yesad is just, playing a part. Usman is playing a part because he wants to keep the visibility that he has on the show to build his brand. And I think it's very smart. I think that Kim is on the scam with Usman. But I do feel like at parts, like when I watch the season, I do feel like at times she's really falling for him. So I kind of get concerned for her. But, Usman now has a way to keep Kimberly at bay because his family will not especially his mother, will not give her blessing for him to marry Kimberly. Now, she says something, right? And again, it's not my culture, not my business. But when she was just like, I could get him a wife in 7 days. He will not just a wife. He will be married in 7 days. There are plenty of women in my village who like him, find him attractive. I can get him a wife within 7 days, and he will be married, and it will be done. I was like, yikes! That's a week. He can have a whole wife in a week. Mother is not playing about her grandkids. She was like, I want grandchildren, and I'm going to get them, and it won't come from Kimberly. It won't be an American. She was like, he can have an American after he gives me my grandkids. So I think she first just wants a legacy for her family. I think she just wants to have the grandkids first and then let her son go play. And I didn't like that either, because that's how it came off to me. It came off to me like, let me get my grandkids first, and then you can go get an American woman to go have fun with. But as for right now, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, I don't like that, because that, in my opinion, that puts women in a position of suffering. And I wasn't on it. I probably interpreted it wrong. Maybe mama was saying something else, but I was like, I don't know if I'm okay with that. Let's move on to Elizabeth and Andre. So basically, in this episode, Andre this show is playing with the possibility that Andre will not get a green card, and it's because there's been some inquiries into his past. And Andre, tells his lawyer, who did not know in the beginning. Let's put a pin in it. Andre's lawyer was like ready for camera, right? Didn't it seem a little weird to you that she was just like, this was not her first appearance on a TV show? Like, she was just really comfortable, not only talking to him on camera, but also talking in her confessional. Like, she was just on it. Maybe she realized this was a great commercial for her company, and she was like, I cannot bomb this. But I was like, you are just ready for TV. Anyway, she was telling him that she's never seen a case like this before. She was like, normally, you just you apply for your green card and you get it. They never want an interview. So if they want to meet with you, it's because they have questions about something. So she's like, is there anything that you need to tell me about? Because I don't want to be surprised. And Andre is like, well, there is something I didn't tell you. I used to be a cop back in Moldova, and there was a case against me, that there was an investigation into, how I was policing. And I'm like, basically, Andre was a dirty cop. Andre was a dirty cop. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he was a dirty cop in Moldova. And that's the thing that he just did not want to say, because whenever it's brought up about why he is no longer why he was no longer a police officer in Moldova, why he was not living in Moldova anymore after the investigation, like, Andre just evades the question. And I think it's because he was a dirty cop, and he got investigated because he was probably doing things that he should not be doing as a police officer, probably, taking his authority a little too far, probably abusing the badge, abusing people, and it got back, and he got investigated and probably got fired. But he don't want to say that. He don't, I just had an investigation because people didn't like how I was policing. Well, what didn't they like, Andre? Let's talk about that. But he's so evasive about that. So anyway, him and Elizabeth are talking, and Andre is just like, oh, I don't know if it was your family who reported me. And I'm just like, Andre, Elizabeth's family is not perfect. They are absolutely annoying. But I do not believe for 1 second that this family will snitch on their meal ticket on this show, right? Like, Andre is the reason why any of them are being covered in the first place. If Andre is deported, there's no reason for him and Elizabeth to be on 90 Day Fiance, right? Like, there's no more storyline anymore. He's deported. Elizabeth ain't going to Moldova and taking that baby. I don't care how much she loves that man. She's not going to live like that. That's the one thing that will break them up, living in Moldova. So Elizabeth will be here in Florida, and Andre will be in Moldova. There won't be a reason to cover this couple anymore. Do you think that family, who is craving attention, who is craving, the love or hate of the public, and want to be famous so bad that they will embarrass themselves every week, every Sunday freaking night on TV, that they will snitch on the only reason why they're being covered on this TV show in the first place? Absolutely not. I don't believe it. I think it's Andre's dirty cop past that has come back to bite him in the butt. And that is why he's trying to like throw focus and not really talk about what he was doing back in Moldova, because he knows. I think he knows exactly why he's getting that interview, because he was in no way shocked. He tried to act shocked later, but I'm like, dude, you know what you did. You know what you did, and you know why they're investigating you, and you know why the immigration department is just like, hold off, hold on. Let's meet with him first. And I don't know if they're going to let us into that interview. I wish they would, because I feel like in that interview, we'll find out what really happened. But if we're not let into that interview process, we won't know. Shaeeda and Bilal. I hate covering this couple because it's the same thing. It's this, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. This is, let me see if I can load it. I can't. Darn it. They're so lucky I can't load it. But I'm going to give them an intro. Next episode, I will give this couple an intro, because they're so annoying. They're so annoying. It's the same old storyline. I do not feel like watching this black man gaslight his wife. And I do not feel like watching this sister be so dumb for a man in faded, skinny, ripped jeans at his big age. I was looking at Bilal's jeans. Like, what in a 22-year-old Dominican man are you wearing? Like, why are you wearing those jeans at your big age? Anyway, in this episode, Bilal yet again gaslights Shaeeda about wanting kids, right? So they're in their joint confessional. He's saying having kids at this point, we need to just wait, do a little bit more research, make sure you're healthy and okay. And then in his own confessional, he's like, we're not having kids. We're not doing it. It's done. We're not trying to make him, absolutely not. Zero chance that she's getting pregnant. It's not happening, right? But when they're together, he's still giving her this false hope that they can build a family at some point. But he is very sure on not getting this woman pregnant. And I'm like, why don't you guys talk to each other? Why don't you guys communicate? Because why do I, as a viewer, know more about how you feel about your marriage than your wife? I hate it. And I hate it for Shaeeda. I really do. But I also feel like, ma'am, at some point, you have to listen to what he's saying. You have to read the writing that's on the wall. Because if your husband is insisting on using condoms when having sex with you, girl, where the hell are your girlfriends? Because I feel like you could not tell your girlfriends this or your sisters, and they would be like, oh, that's normal. I feel like every woman, like every friend of a woman who tells them something like this would be like, girl, either he cheating or he don't want to get you pregnant. Like, why are you and your husband using condoms? I thought one of the benefits of marriage was safely raw dogging, but for some reason, this couple is using condoms. Like, I know like a lot of married people who don't want children do the rhythm method. Condoms is a new thing for me. I didn't know. Maybe it is something that married people do all the time. I just didn't know about that, because I know that if a wife finds condoms that her husband has, it's like automatic cheatation, right? Wouldn't that be? I don't know. I just maybe it's something that married people do, but that's the first time I've heard of that, right? So Shaeeda is just like, when they go meet with the doctor, she's just like, oh, we have been trying. And Bilal was like, we haven't been trying. And she's like, well, we do use condoms, but there's been some oopsies. Girl, go home. Go home. Go home. This man does not want to have kids with you. Like, what more does he have to say? Have you ever felt your husband skin on skin? Have y'all ever consummated the marriage without a condom? I, I'm done. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so sad. There's nothing funny about this. This is just a sad situation. This man, this husband does not want to have kids with this woman and is annoyed by her. Whenever Shaida speaks, it looks like Bilal is listening to nails on a chalkboard. And Shaida is just this Trinidadian bimbo. She don't know nothing. Like he's literally standing there next to you, sitting there next to you while you're speaking to the fertility doctor. And he's just like, oh no, we're not trying. Oh no, we're not doing that right now. And you're like, well, maybe soon we'll have a bun in the oven. What are you talking about? You don't want to have kids. You are too old. You are so worried about having kids before you're 40. You're not concerned that you are 37 and you have no social clues or discernment. Like you have the discernment of a toddler in a zoo. That's your common sense. You just have no idea what's going on, and you're walking into trap after trap after trap at 37, and you want the Lord to trust you with a child. Girl, Allah said absolutely not. I have never in my life, no, I'm lying. I was about to say I've never in my life despised a couple like this. Michael and Angela, I despise that couple. But Bilal and Shaida, whew, y'all up there. I don't enjoy watching them. I don't. It's just dumb and dumber. Dumb and dumber. Why are we wasting our time on these people? What happened to the I forgot their names. Kalani and Aswelu. Let's go back to them. Let's go back to them and those fighting Polynesian families. I miss them. I don't want them back. I do not want them back. This is the first time, the second time I will talk about them. I don't think I have their picture because I don't really cover Big Ed and Liz, but I feel like I got to talk about them. Remember when I told you guys, I don't know what review it was, but I think I've said this several times. I've always said this to women, never give a guy a chance, right? Never think that the short guy, and I'm not saying this for all short men, right? But I'm talking specifically about you're the girl that normally dates tall guys, right? So this one time you're going to give the short guy a chance. Any guy that you have to give a chance, right? The short guy, the tender-eyed guy, the broke guy, you know what I mean? The rude guy, the conservative. Any of those guys that you have to I'll give the hippie guy a chance, you know what I mean? I'll give the guy who doesn't wear any shoes in the public restroom, I'll give him a chance. He's different. Not my type, but I'll give him a shot, right? I'll try it. And a lot of times, women, let's be honest, you're giving the guy that you normally don't go for a chance or a shot because you think that you will be some kind of trophy for him, right? You think that the short guy will be like, I can't believe I'm a good 5'2", and I can't believe that this 5'8" woman is giving me a shot. I'm going to treat her right. I'm going to treat her better than any man in her life has ever treated her. You also think, women, that the tender-eyed guy, right? The one that has the face that only a mother could love, would treat you so special because they can't believe that somebody as fine as you would give them a chance. You think that he's going to treat you better because he's facially challenged. And to that I say, absolutely not. It will never happen. Why? Because he's a man. And you can never humble a man. Not as a woman. Not as a woman. You can never humble a man. Here is the perfect example. Big Ed. Big Ed, no shade, on his best day is serving Ewok, right? On his best day, the way he talks to and treats Liz. You would think that he's a good 6'3", built like a Mack truck, fine, low cut Caesar with a deep wave and wealthy. The way he talks to and treats this woman, you would think that he just stepped out of a Gucci ad and walked into this woman's life, right? In this episode, Ed and Liz are at, I don't know what this is. I mean, they break up so many damn times. I don't know if it's a wedding shower or just a gathering because they're having a peaceful moment in their relationship. They're having this event for their love, and Liz gets into a fight with one of her guests, and she, has to have the security remove them because the guest is a woman and is a lesbian. I don't like the fact that Ed was like, she had a fight with a friend, a lesbian friend. Okay. But because the friend is of the LGBTQ family, Ed is like, oh, she must have had, a relationship with her. And he said the reason why he believed that is because the fight was really emotional, like a couple fighting. Now, if this wasn't Ed, I might be like, okay. Like if what when an argument is different, right? We're all adults here, when your partner is getting into it with somebody and you're like, that's a little too familiar, right? That hits a little too close to home. It's too much passion, right? But two women who are friends having a passionate argument is normal. Like women will never fight like men, right? Like we will always, especially if it's somebody that we love. And that's another thing that people don't understand, that the love is different with a partner, right? With somebody that you're in a relationship with, especially a sexual relationship with, right? It doesn't mean that the love is not as strong or as passionate with a friend, because there are some breakups, friend breakups that hurt worse than your breakups that you've had with a partner, right? Because that love was real and it was deep and it was intimate. It was just platonic. But that does not mean that there's no love and passion there. So I wasn't concerned about her having this passionate argument with her friend who's a woman. That's how we fight. Like we never have chill fight. Like if two women are having an argument and it's chill, that friendship been done. That friendship been done. If the friendship is just now coming to an end, it's gonna get nasty. It's gonna get loud. Somebody's hair is getting pulled, somebody getting maced, and somebody going to the ER. Welcome to womanhood, right? So because of that, she is upset about it or whatever, but then she's calmed down and she's hugging and kissing on her fiance. And Ed looks at her and says, were you in a relationship with her? Because the fight was real emotional. Liz, who has been drinking, gets upset. She takes off, speed walking and stumping. Lord knows where she's going, but that poor cameraman was following her all up and down that street. It was giving Maury, okay? It was definitely a Maury cameraman that was following her. So Liz is stumping down the street, and like halfway through her stumpage, she stops and she takes her shoes off and she starts walking barefoot. Now, I looked at that hill. What was your walking difficulty? It was a kitten hill. You couldn't have walked to your home or to your car in those kitten hills. Anyway, she had to take the kitten hills off, and she walked barefoot to wherever she was going. So the producers are on the phone with Ed, and they finally give the phone to Liz because Liz was not talking to Ed, and he's like, "Well, that argument was really passionate, and I don't know." Everything about you. That's why I'm uncomfortable with us getting married right now. So when you come home, I want you to pack your stuff and I want you to leave because we can't live together because you're not ready for marriage. Wait a minute. Y'all just had a little disagreement while this woman is drunk and you're putting her out and ending your engagement. And Liz is like, what are you talking about? I will say this though, Liz, you did say, just because I had an argument with someone who's attracted to me. Now, girl, what? I'm on your side. I'm on your side, and I think your man overreacted. But wait, the friend that you was fighting with was attracted to you, so don't give that man no ammo. Don't give that man no ammo because he already gets off on humiliating you. That's what it is. I think he has a humiliation kink of other people, of the women that he's with. And I think the reason why Ed does that is because he doesn't really think that he could get somebody like that. And I think he thinks that the women that are with him are because he can do something, right? Or because I think he thinks that Liz is with him for this TV show. I kind of agree with that, right? So I think he justifies that by mistreating her because he knows that she will still stick around because of what he can offer her. That makes him feel safe. I feel like that's how he protects himself. He treats the woman that he's with like crap because he doesn't think that he could really get her without these other things. So I think that's what it is, but it's still awful. Anyway, their episode, their wrap up or whatever, their segment is ended with Liz just walking away from the phone while Ed is still talking, and Ed is questioning if he should get married to Liz. I don't think they need to get married. Here's why. This couple is toxic. This couple is toxic. Both of the families know that this is not a good relationship. For some reason, Liz's family is very cautious of Ed, and they're always crying whenever she talks about being with him. And I think that there's probably more to the story that we, the viewers, have not, we're not privy to this information. But there is a reason why Liz's family is standoffish from Ed. There is a reason why Liz's family does not want her to be with him. Yes, they did say, protect her or whatever. But I think at some point, families, just especially when you love someone, you kind of just give over to them and just hope that they're safe in their wrong, decision that they made. At some point, they're an adult. You got to let them do what they want to do. But for me, in my opinion, there's a reason. Just like there's a reason why Ed's family does not want him to be with Liz. But I think this couple is extremely toxic. I think it comes from both ends, and I just don't see this couple doing very well. I feel like when the season is over, we're going to hear some stuff from blogs, and that might cause Ed and Liz not to come back next season. Because I think something is happening here. I think something really, really dark is happening with this couple. And I don't think we're aware of it yet. I think it's something we'll be aware of probably at the end of the season or after the season. Let's move on to Michael and Angela, also known as Michael and Donald Trump in a sundress. I'm still so shocked that Angela's friend, Blue Cantrell's mama, was outside of Michael's house screaming at him to get his butt outside. Who are you? He's never met you. He does not know you. You were on his front porch screaming at him, telling him to get his butt outside. Girl, what? Like, how did you even think that any of that made sense? I just don't know why that was her decision. Why she was just like, this is a smart thing for me to do, to yell at Michael, who I've never met, in his development, and tell him to get his compound and tell him to get his butt out of here. Angela is destroying his car. So anyway, Angela, in this drug-infested stupor, is tearing up Michael's car, slurring her words, spit and lashes is all over the place, calling Michael all kinds of names. I think, because knowing Angela, right, I'm not saying, am I? I'm just saying, right, this woman, right, who absolutely gives off Donald Trump in the sundress, right? She not only worships Trump, right? She worships America and being an American. She, every time she comes to Nigeria, she makes sure that she has on some form of the American flag, right? She has American flag acrylic nails, right? And then she has an American flag bracelet. And we've seen her throughout seasons, every trip, she would have something with America on. If it wasn't an outfit, it was some kind of accessory, right? So this woman, this American woman, who not only worships the flag and worships Donald Trump, we have seen her verbally assault this Black man who has a desire to come to the United States of America. right? Which is why I can never get with Angela. Oh, he scammed me. I think y'all scammed each other, and I think you both are in on the scam. If anybody benefited from this scam, it is you, not Michael. So while she's screaming at him, right? Because Michael finally comes out, and as soon as he comes out, she starts beating on him, screaming at him, calling him all kinds of names. I honestly think, from what I know of Angela, I honestly think there were a couple of N words that came out because they were bleeping a lot of the stuff that she said. But I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that Angela hopped up on drugs and alcohol. The whole time she's screaming and beating up on Michael, she's talking about American. I'm American. You don't do an American woman like this. There's no way that she wasn't dropping N bombs. There's no way that N word. I think she was also using AH N word and hard R N word. She gives me that too. I think she was going back and forth, which is probably why in certain scenes, when we cut to Blue Cantrell's mama, she's standing off, like looking at Angela, but we don't know what she's looking at, right? Because we never see her reaction and Angela's voiceover in the same scene. So I think that's probably what that reaction is from, because there's no way. I just don't believe it. There's no way there were no N words dropping. And I think if there were, that show cut them out. But they kept the reactions, because the reactions of Blue Cantrell's mama, I think her name is Renee. The reactions from her, I was like, you see your white bestie lose her damn mind. What the hell is this? Do you have Uber Eats coming? Hello? Oh, the neighbors.
I'm just meeting all the cool neighbors for my communication project.
Okay.
Sorry to freak you out.
Yeah, I was just like, who is this?
You're a YouTuber, huh?
Oh, how do you? Oh, my shirt. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the YouTube business?
For a while.
I think you're the first. I've been doing this contest for 14 weeks, and you're the first YouTuber I've met so far.
Oh, really?
Okay. So what I have to do is I have to meet all your strangers I've never met to work on my communication skills. When I get 20,000 points this year, I win a trip to Disney. You just have to ask me how I get the points.
How do you do?
Thank you for asking. Same thing as last year. We're doing a big vacation. So we're having all the neighbors pick up a program and go like okay. What's the they gonna be viable? Oh, okay.
You want me to get what's up with that?
Hey, I appreciate you listening. Have a good day.
I'm gonna call downstairs because he don't live here. Hey, welcome to Alive. Yeah. What was I talking about? Michael and Angela in words. Yeah, the security is a little lax because I don't know how he made it up here because that is not my neighbor. But God is good. God is good. We have locks. Anyway, I do think that some N words dropped. I do think that it was highly unfair for everyone to go and grab Michael after he finally released his anger and frustration on Angela. He never put his hands on her, but he was just like, he's done. And he was asking her to leave and to get out of his compound because he was done. He was done with her. But for everybody to rally around him and act like he was going to hit her when nobody stopped Angela from beating up on that man, was not a fan of that. But I'm finally glad that Michael, that he released his frustration because he's been being abused by that woman for a very long time. And I'm glad that he told her that they were done and it wasn't the other way around. Although I don't think they're done, because if Angela is done with Michael, then she's no longer needed for the show. So I don't think that she's going to lose her meal ticket on this show. And I don't think that Michael is going to allow his meal ticket to the United States to get away that fast. So I don't think this couple is done. But I do think that Michael's meltdown was the real deal, and it was more than deserved. And although I would love to never see this couple on my TV again, if we have to watch them again so Michael can get to America, that's what we got to do. But I don't think they're done. Although they should be, I don't think they're done. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Yeah, I saw them fingernails and I was like, you don't live here. You don't live here, but I'm taking care of that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Spency. He was acting like he was a high school kid. Nah, nah, nah. The thing is, he did look like my neighbor until I opened the door. So it is what it is. We're good. Nicole Taylor said she probably has a Nigerian man. You think so? I feel like Michael is the only Nigerian man that will put up with her. I feel like he's the only one. Tamika said production lets Angela get away with far too much. It's old. And it's wrong. It's wrong. Because I'm just like, you guys watched her beat up on Michael, but then as soon as he says, I'm done, everybody rushes around Michael to protect Angela. Really? The woman that punched him in his chest and was calling him all kinds of names and N-words? I know she called him the N-word. I know she did. Whitney said, we all know that Angela has called him every ninja in the book over the years. They are both pathetic, and I wish they would just go already. Black Lavender said it's time for Angela and Michael's storyline to be over. Yeah, I'm actually probably going to wrap this up now because I want to, I got to take care of that. I got to, that was weird. That was weird. I got to take care of that. So guys, let me get out of here. Thank you all so much for stopping by a NikkiStar TV Live. I had a really good time with you guys, but I got to take care of business because that was not okay. But I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And what else am I doing? I said I was doing something else tomorrow. Oh, Bachelor in Paradise. I'm going to make those two separate because they're both really long. And I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about. So I don't want to be on this for 4 hours. But I am going to just separate them so that we can just have our separate conversations and go more into depth. But let me go and take care of my business here. Love you all so much. See you soon for something else. Bye. Ciao.